Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Well, good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know whether I should be speaking Twi or English.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are live on TV3. We are also live on City TV, and we'll plead with you. Chairman General is going to mess the languages, so please let's bear with him. Thank you very much.
Well, if you make me annoyed, I will speak Hausa. Well, this is the first time I'm addressing you on these election issues, not as a General Secretary, but as a National Chairman. Let me commend my successor for a good work done that has brought us up to this stage. He has explained virtually everything that you need to know about the elections. Save that I am coming from another meeting, and it's a meeting that has to deal with some of the challenges I'm sure you are aware of that took us to the court for the past few days. Happily, you have already been informed that the matter that was sent to court by Dr. Kwabrandufo has been withdrawn. And following that, there have been meetings to engage to make sure that all outstanding issues and differences are resolved. So I am to report that even as we speak, there are processes in place that to ensure further engagement with our presidential candidates and some technical teams from our headquarters here to ensure that all other obstacles are cleared. And so we are good to go for the elections tomorrow. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Adufo for the, a good showmanship of statesmanship and the love for the party for withdrawing this case and resort to internal processes of the party to seek resolutions to problems that have emanated in this process. I would like to recommend that path to all party members who may feel aggrieved by anything in the party, that the best thing to do is to resort to internal party processes and to find solution. When that solution is not found, then you may go outside the party structures. So we commend the Dufo team for resorting to internal party processes to find solutions. We are also here as, in a sense, umpires for the whole process of selecting candidates for presidential and parliamentary. So myself and my General Secretary have striven very hard to ensure that we keep our balance and keep an unbiased posturing throughout this process. Because we know that in democracy And in elections like this, it doesn't matter who wins, but how that person wins also matters a lot. And that is why we have adopted that posturing. We also understand that democracy is also about securing the interests of minorities. In fact, the best democracies are the ones that ensures that minority interests are protected. So in every situation that we found ourselves as umpires, we strive to ensure that we balance the interests of minorities and dominant forces in an equitable manner so that the outcomes will be satisfactory to everybody. Having said that, I believe I have discharged in English what you need to know, save one thing. We have also passed a resolution. We held a Zoom meeting this afternoon of the Functional Executive Committee. And we've come to the conclusion that we believe that our internal elections remain our internal elections. And it is the responsibility of the National Democratic Congress to establish ways and means of selecting our candidates, which we will sponsor for elections. It remains our responsibility, and it cannot be taken over by anybody. We have sought to involve the Electoral Commission because we believe that it is much more credible to involve neutral parties in such issues. And so that is as far as it goes. So the resolution we pass is to the effect that at any point in time, when we get to a point where the work of the neutral party we have engaged to help us select our candidate becomes challenging or unavailable, we reserve the right to resort to our own means of selecting our candidates. Because this is a subject that has been discussed in the past at several meetings with the Electoral Commission. We have taken a position before that if the internal party primaries are public elections, then Electoral Commission are under obligation to conduct those elections for the party free of charge, without any charge to the political party. Because if it is a state institution that has a constitutionally imposed duty to perform as far as our party is concerned, then why should they be charging us? Because it subsists on the public purse. It has been an issue before, and there has been a declaration by Electoral Commission that candidates cannot be construed as part. So if we want them to do it, we must pay for it. So we have been paying for all those services, including the current one. And so if we come to a stage where we realize that for one reason or are unable to discharge on the contract we have entered. Because Electoral Commission has in the past been bothered with court challenges from aggrieved parties arising out of our elections. When I say our elections, I mean the internal elections of both MPP and NDC. We have had at the point to be requested to issue indemnity to the Commission for the conduct of our elections. The terms of which state that they are only conducting the elections for us as a contract duty, as not part of the duties imposed on them by the Constitution. And so they cannot be subject to any legal suit coming out of any process towards selecting candidates for our parties. And the indemnity is still valid. So we are taking full responsibility for the outcomes of our elections. And we are sending notice to aggrieved parties or parties who may be aggrieved after the election, that if they want to proceed against the outcomes of the elections, they should look into our direction and proceed against us and not the Electoral Commission, because we have given them indemnity in the past, and the indemnity has not been revoked. So that is the reason why we have had to pass the resolution that in case at any point the Electoral Commission feels unable to proceed with the contract that we have signed with them, then we should proceed with our internal party structures to conduct the elections. That is it. Our preference is for them to discharge on the obligations they have undertaken to do. But if they fail, then we will resort to other means of getting our candidates elected tomorrow. And when I say tomorrow, tomorrow is 13th of May, 2023. When we had this legal challenge, we were informed by the Commission that because of the legal challenge, they were unable to proceed. We accepted it and said that we are going to deal with all the legal challenges. We have since dealt with the legal challenges. And all the obligations and the timelines, the only thing that stood to be affected by this delay is the evacuation and transportation of electoral materials. We have met them after the court issues. And we have assured each other that wherever they run into difficulties about the transportation of electoral material, we are available to deploy our emergency response teams to help them to proceed to do that. So far, they have not given us cause to worry that they are unable to distribute the election material. And so we are looking forward to them to perform their obligations under the agreement we have entered with them. For the sake of emphasis, there are two separate elections that are going to take place, even though they are using the same delegate list. You have parliamentary elections and presidential elections. The presidential elections, as has been explained to you, are taking place in all constituencies except Manhyia South. And there will be one center here at the headquarters where all our foreign delegates will cast their vote, plus members of the Council of Elders and other people who have special assignments here to cast their votes. We have made those arrangements. And so there will be, in effect, 276 polling, what do you call it, like constituencies. There are other constituencies that have challenges with transportation, road network, and other things. So we have had to ask them to do local arrangement. For instance, if you take a constituency like Evaluate Ajomoro Jula, when you want to move from one end to the other, bringing delegates from one end to the other, you have to cross about 4 or 5 other constituencies before you get to the constituency center. So we found it cheaper to break the election into 3 centers so that every cluster will meet at some traditional headquarters and cast the ballot. And so in some of the constituencies, you will see that one happening. It is because of difficulties of transportation and moving people from one end to the other and so on. Then we have 47 candidates or aspirants who have already been declared candidates for our 2024 elections. Our rules stipulate that if at the close of vetting, one candidate emerges as qualified, then immediately after the vetting, that person is declared as elected. So we have 47 of such candidates who have already been elected. We have seen other places where people are contesting unopposed candidates by going to court to try to seek injunction to prevent the parliamentary election. There is not going to be any parliamentary elections in those constituencies because our candidates have already been elected by law. Then we have 16 constituencies that have been ring-fenced. We believe that certain constituencies need some special attention. And the party's preparation in those constituencies is not complete. So we have decided to put them on hold. After the main elections, we will approach each constituency by constituency and deal with the specific issues there to pave the way for the elections to take place. Our hope is that some few months after this main election, all those 16 constituencies will have parliamentary candidates. So the net effect is that tomorrow's election would have parliamentary elections taking place in 212 constituencies because 16 are ring-fenced and 47 we have candidates already. So the elections will not happen in these constituencies. And so we will be left with 212 where the elections will take place as far as parliamentary primaries is concerned. The presidential primaries, as have been said, will take place in all but one constituency, that is Manhyia South. abusuafo denti a yɛhyia mu awie say yɛne yɛ party for nkitahudie wei ana Ghana for nkitahudie wei na nke ahyehyɛ no sɛ ɛbɛba so ɛyɛ nano ukuada saa brɛ no na yɛbɛnya brɛ ne akyerɛkyerɛ kwan yɛbɛfa so ato aba no ne ɛho nsɛnsɛm na sɛ obiara wɔ ha obiara wɔ abatoɔ no nhyehyɛ ho a na wabisa ne akyerɛkyerɛ mu fikɔ na kwan fufuo biara ne emu atoato anti no sɛ mpanimfoɔ no bi edi kabi maminka bi amam nhyehyɛ akyi ɛde ekɔkɔgyina court process so yɛ part of democracy ɛno nti na wɔ sɛ yɛtwe saa nhyehyɛ yi ɛsan na yɛdi ɛno akyi na afei yɛne wɔn di nkitaho ɛbɛhwɛ sɛ yie bɛtoa yie na asan aba abɛtoa so ne yɛne mu akasa ɛno nti metumi aka sɛ yɛkɔɔ court anɔpa yi no sɛ mpanimfoɔ no a wɔde asɛm no kɔɔ court Dr. Adofoɔ ɛne n'akyitaafoɔ no wɔn nyante aseɛ sɛ yɛbɛyi case na free court na wɔn aba abɛhwɛ sɛ nsɛm a wɔn raise no wɔ court no yɛbɛtumi aka no wɔ fie a nti yɛda wɔn ase sɛ wɔn atumi ayi saa asɛm no nti yɛwie ɛne wɔn akɔtena ase yɛabobɔ nsɛm no bi so a anadwo nyinaa ebi bɛsan atoa so na yɛgye di sɛ ɔkyena batoɔ no deɛ ɛreba so ɛno nti baabi a na ahoboa no aduru ɛwɔ constituency biara mu no obiara ntoa so sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a ɔkyena abatoɔ no ɛbɛtumi akɔ so yɛabatoɔ mu no yɛne Electoral Commission for ɛkɔ apam sɛ wɔn nhwɛ so ɛma yɛn because ɛbɛba so ɛfiri sɛ yɛne Electoral Commission for ɛwɔ nkutahodie sɛ yɛyɛ biribi a wɔn ebegyina mu yɛ man a na kyerɛ sɛ ɛno etimi boa yɛn na mmom nɔkora pa ɛwɔ mu ne sɛ Electoral Commission for ame ate aseɛ sɛ wɔn nhyɛ mmara bi ase sɛ ɛsɛ sɛ wɔn yɛ election man yɛn ɛno nti sɛ wɔn yɛ election saa ama yɛ a wɔn charge yɛ mietua sɛ yɛ state assignment a anka yɛn nyɛ yɛ na etua ka ɛno nti wɔn yɛ election bi a yɛfa wɔn sɛ sɛbe yɛne wɔn yɛafa wɔn paa na wɔn abɛyɛ ama yɛ ne yɛtua wɔn ka saa na yɛyɛ no da biara ɛna na yɛyɛ internal party elections ɛnyɛ NDC ne NDC nkoa MPP ne parties aka nyina yɛyɛ internal elections koraa no a yɛtumi ɛde ɛyi kɔ ebi a wɔn nte aseɛ no etimi de asɛm no bi kɔ court na wɔn atwe ɛde afra Electoral Commission for nti Electoral Commission for ame atena ase ayɛ nkrataa asan wɔn ti sɛ yabatoɔ bi a wɔn bɛba abɛhwɛ so no sɛ nte ase anyɛ adwuma na obi retwe manso wɔ ho a onyi wɔn mfiri mu efiri sɛ yɛn yabatoɔ ɛne akɔhan wɔn sɛ wɔn nyɛ man yɛn. ɛno nti awia yi sɛdeɛ Electoral Commission yɛne wɔn adi nkitaho aduru baabi na wɔn afra yɛ abɔ amanneɛ sɛ biribi abɛsa nkankwan mu obi de asɛm bi akɔ court nti wɔn ntumi nkɔyɛ no yɛte aseɛ ma wɔn sɛ yɛkɔhwɛ sɛ saa court case no bɛfiri hɔ na yɛtimi atoa so ɛnora na nano a yɛne wɔn ka no na nhyehyɛ no bebree yɛayɛ awie deɛ na aka ɛne sɛ wɔn de ballot papers any other election material ebeko various places abato no beko so enti wo mo ebo break wo ho ba ye nyina nyante ase se ye yi asem no free ho a afe ye beba beto aso ya ba be yi asem no afri ho ewom se ye te se wo mo pani no ba ko kan se even si ye yi asem no free ho enafie dai kura no a wo mo ntimi nkoto aba no ba ye tie no wa efri se sa asem no nya asem a epie wo ye ne wo mo meeting ase de ye kan no ho ne se wo mo tie break so na bre bia ebe yi court case ya free ho no ye beba beto aso ba bia ya duro ena ba bia ya yi case na free ho no so anopa ye ne wo mo akoye nhyiamu aka akire wo mo se materials ya ese transport ko no ya ye ready ya was standby facility emergency facility se wo mo hia ye moa se ye beboa wo mo na materials no aduru ba bia ese eduru se hia se wo mo fa wiem hyen kura no a we are ready se ebeboa wo mo ama wo mo de akọ wo mo ati ase se problem bia ni ho na wo mo nya problem a wo mbebo ya mane enunti eho na ejina sesi a enti e meeting ai ne wo mo aye de enim se problem bia ni ho a wo mo ahya ase since anopa yi ai ne wo mo ekasa ai no a wo mo gusu a wo mo ye wo mo ahobo ase o kina ebeba so na ya meeting awie ya kase esan se abato no ye abato na emu nsem bia free mu ba ebeso ayenti no ye party election directorate a ewo district mu no wo mu nyina standby enye ready se wo mu beboa na se ohaw bia si a wo betimi agina mu na election no akoso enu nti ye na mo akwanya so e kan kire Ghana for se ochina ye election no de besi sa abre bia bibia emesan kan mu se election no emma so enu nti na amane a kakra ewo ho no nti ye beda mase na ifri ha ye besan akọ Electoral Commission ho because the adwuma mo bi a ese odi akiri hwe se wa ya duru he ebesan akọhwe ahunu ba bia wo mo aye aduru na ye ogidie se okira bato no de ebeba so ye da mu nyina ase our creating unity
Okay, so please we'll take some few questions from you. On my right is another microphone. So please, if you have a question, but please don't cross the camera. Just use behind the camera and then ask your question. So, Joy FM, let's have your question.
Thank you very much. I just want to know about the latest injunction by Mr. Asamoah Boateng. You've not spoken directly about it. Is it the case that you've not been served or you are just entirely ignoring it?
Okay, so the latest injunction, the next one.
Okay, so I also wanted to find out that if all parties in the primary slated for tomorrow are confident enough in the internal election directorate body of the party so that no court process might emanate from the results of the elections coming Saturday.
Okay, so yours is on the confidence of the election committee.
Medin the Jacob could be from UT. Mpacho eye wutu senya is ehifa enomoto omabano.
Please, those will be internal ones that we cannot list all the 276 ones here. So, concerning this press conference, please move to the right if you have a question.
Me question we say see amame ati ase election eba so do e kwan be so ne sabe kan accreditation.
Okay.
Yeah, my question goes to Mr. Chairman. NDC is unable to participate in logistics, and your election is it to be credible or you are prohibited?
Okay.
Yes.
Next question.
Said,
The credibility of
yes.
the credibility if we organize it ourselves. That's clear.
So your interest can protect you.
Please mention your media houses when you.
Sorry, TV3. You stated that there's an emergency structure to distribute electoral materials. Now, I'd like to know the precise status of these electoral materials. Have you begun to distribute them? How are you doing that?
Okay.
Samuel Akwati, GBC. The fact that Dr. Dufour took you to court, what does it mean to the unity of the party moving into the 2024 elections? Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's have the last.
Thank you very much. Your friend and no Conchecheku, me Juma Top Radio and Top TV. Miss Rebisa, Ochnaba to an Obambon Sem at the same so far. Thank you.
Okay, my patron, Mr. Femi Abdullah Dasmani from Peace FM. My first question is the meaning of the business, and my second question, Mose Abani betu no 275 constituencies, 76, but Mose back, which is Menchia South. It's me say no, Nami Aduma da Bene no ebebasu.
Okay. All right. So that will be all, Chairman. That'll be all, Chairman.
Yo, I was trying for Edamasi. Mansia, dear, no dear, Womunya, Aquanya, and to presidential Nubi Kra. Because, say, to Aba na Bibinti constituency Bako, intimate Tubia, and say Abatuano. Yamra my home quan say tomato na is our constituency no. Is in chain. Yeah, we need first someone. Yeah. I told the big cry a bear na constituencies bear say and 9 years na say num and you're ready presidential. You almost in chain near to. And until Sabina Manshia Edu Mwaka Kujinam. Inti Manshia presidential no dear. Yen to be. And ya dear China 2 years. Nothing I can say now to me, you ever call to Manshia the other come home. Into Manshia the Omon to presidential. But ye did say, and Sensembia or Hono, ye bet me Asiedu Ama yet to parliamentary. Later on, Naya ye a parliamentary candidate for Manshia. Into Manshia the no. Bambon she no. Ya joining my state security as part of your preparation way. You were elections task force or police headquarters. Enti womone security for no adi nkita ho akwa koduru baabi na baabi akwa koduru no ye ne womo anyanti ase se election no mu bambo nyina. They share Womonsa, to say the National Congress, no. I share Womonsa, Womoya Juma, kama, de Mayeno. And until I didn't cry, echo, na ebe fasa kwanya subim. Assign any a party for na kasa. Say candidate ya, Obeka say me macho phone ye, Miss Personal Security ni, Womo kwa kobo me ho bai no. Oko form Abaimra, yet the Abaimra Ediwa party no emehim. If we say, Yandia, Yenim say policy for no bit me aye. Into a jam mama homo. Say ye Vienna security no, a home by bit chuma near who or more, yet this sobo, a bebo. Into India, if I say Ghana phone na to say, or China batuano. Police for any idea share womansa. Babia, woman nim, Quanya Omofa so here about to also. Womudru Babina Omuhia and Moafu Frubia free other state agency. Womoa ye and Chira Omoquine for Sudi police. Womoa Befa Omoquine so. I have said about to no Ebecoso, 13 security issue be a babiano. betimi put no under control. Party in Kambomu because Dr. Adufo Akokot. Meaning is Abusuamu say Asemba na obi koye complain say opese ehwehwe saa asem no mu a eno by itself the manson beto abusuanu eno mom eboa ema de onti bibi ase no akwanya aba ama ya kirikiri mu ama wanya ho ntiase eno nti the fact is say Dr. Adufo Akokot no in a way ya handle no ya eno na be strengthen party no ebeboa ama ya nhihye a ye nyina no yanya improvement e won nhihye no nti ye nhunu se court a wo mo de ekoye no abe boni bi a ebe chiche party mu ye nhunu sa so far de bibia ma ya e kire se court case no ebe chiche mu for anything. Precise status of the distribution. Sabre distribution ya jama Electoral Commission for. If you say woman necessary woman distribute to according to your agreement, you know. Woman son saka materials no ache. And untinanka say by now woman distribute to dada. And now say court case no affected distribution no yenim. Ba ye ne woman shia no pa ya ma ya church mu a kire woman say ba say court case na e ba no affect woman distribution plan no a woman be ante na mmoa bia ya de beboa woman ama woman distribute no woman timi a distribute so far de woman fa bibia sa meto ya nim enti enim say woman distribution arrangement no nyina e koso say de woman ahihye no no OBC credibility of election. Mijili say credibility no any Electoral Commission for nkwansam. If say Electoral Commission, womo ahwe abato so am ye de akokot to pay. Enunti say oya abato na emuda ho a say Electoral Commission na yo. So obi foforo bi e na yo. Emuda ho. Unya charge bi ama unya charge mo enunti credibility no eni baakofo bottom but because of practice and the fact is say yenim say abato oba ani brebre ni nyemane matimi ba enti ya na ye feel say problems ya be free mu aba no ye better off say the ama obi a onkan ye party who say omeya ebeboa yen na enye honkwa na credibility etimi free ba abato nti ya dam nyina ase me pa chaw yenti latest injunction bia yeti say obi from Abuakwa North or a candidate ya owo a particular constituency akofa ali bibi say until you may be ase. Say lawyer for no HRH in Muno. What ya see a coisa case, and until a no chidi and take case bia. Yadamas.
Okay, on the issue of the accreditation, we have opened up all our centers to all the media houses. But when you are going to assess it, just carry your personal ID or organizational ID and you'll be given unfettered access. Then again, we would have a collation center or announcement center of the presidential elections here after 6 o'clock. And that one too, if you are coming, you must carry your ID card.
Whenever I say my PENDREAM TV there, I see them, yopo.